So I want to show you now the power of visualization, and I want to explain to you what the link is between what your thinking brain is doing and what your athletic brain is accomplishing. Some of the sports psychologist guys, when they were studying the link between visualization. They wired up a downhill skier with a bunch of electrodes, a bunch of sensors. So they put them all over his body and all of his major muscles. And then they had him race a slalom course. And then they left him wired, and they brought him inside, and they put him in front of a TV, and they had him watch himself go down through the race course. Now remember, he was still wired. So the interesting thing was, all of the sensors that fired when he was actually doing the movement fired in exactly the same sequence as he was watching himself. Now they were microfires. They were tiny little things. But every time that he was going to carve to the left, those same muscles had a little bit of potential movement in them. So there was actually some physical activity taking place when his brain was literally seeing himself move. That's the power of visualization. When you begin to actually see something, what's really cool is that your body starts to begin to, even if it's just micro impulses, send the micro impulses to make that motion happen. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to activate your visualization skills. This is a lot of fun. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to take the string with the bolt down at the end. It's just a weight. It doesn't matter, any old weight. I just happen to get these at the hardware store. And what I'd like you to do is just kind of rest your elbow comfortably on the table. And I want you to stare at the bolt that's at the end. And I want you to begin to imagine the bolt making a circle clockwise about the width of a dime. Now as you're watching that, and as you're watching that string go around, it's only going about the width of a dime. But I think if you expand your imagination, you could begin to actually see that thing going about the width of a quarter. And it gets a little bit bigger. Don't help it. You don't need to do anything. Just imagine the thing tracing the path of a quarter. Even though you might not consciously be moving your hands, your brain is sending little signals down, which does result in little micro movements, which is enough to get this thing to start swinging those ways. So can you imagine if you could get really, really good at visualizing and seeing the shot? Well, guess what your brain is doing? It's sending the information down to the muscles that you want to use to execute the shot. And so you're already literally practicing the shot before you even hit it, because your body keeps sending those pictures again and again. I want it to go this way. I want the string to go back and forth, not in a circle. Is that astonishing or what? It's like it shouldn't be right? It shouldn't work that way. But I think this is our best guess in terms of what is actually happening. So you begin to see the power of visualization and seeing the shot in advance. The more you can see it, the more you're actually literally practicing sending that information from your thinking brain through your athletic brain out to your body of what it is that you want to accomplish. So what I'd like to encourage all of you to do is understand the power of visualization. And all I want you to do here is think about how you could use this in your pre-shot routine the next time you play, is to see the shot before you go, and then ask yourself, now if I'm seeing it and while I'm looking at my shot, do I feel it? Am I making the motion that I want to have accomplished? If you can unite those two things, then that's going to help your game take a huge step forward, because you're going to be a lot more consistent. And one of the reasons is you've clarified the communication between your thinking brain and your athletic brain. And one of my contentions is one of the reasons you don't hit shots as consistently as you could is because there's a lot of interference from your thinking brain and sometimes your emotional brain with your athletic brain. And we want to get that athletic brain as clearly in charge of the motion as possible.